So Kelly and I just made it to downtown Winnipeg. I used to actually have a hemp shop just around the corner here called the Hemp Exchange. And can we fit through there?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, okay, well let's do it.
It's a bit dangerous, but let's do it.
Put all my bags on the side so I'm not touching any cars. So we're heading over to Vapes off Main. I guess it used to be Vapes on Main. And now it's Vapes off Main. I like it. Just to the left here. Hey, I know that guy. Little Reggie the Rot. What's up, brother?
What is that girl that's sitting in cells? I just walk in, there's no one in there, and her back was to me, and I said something. Hey, you looking for someone? I said, yeah, my buddies must have went to a different place. And they said, oh, they just left. And then Corey turns around, I haven't seen her in about a year. She's, what the fuck?
What? Was she working there?
Hey?
Who was
the girl was just sitting in there, I know her.
Oh, that was working? The girl that was working on all the papers?
No, she was just sitting there writing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the girl.
Yeah.
We sat right beside her.
Yeah, she was just sitting in the booth writing.
Trippy. So this is it. We're heading in. Should I turn this off first?
It doesn't matter.
Good.
Yeah, I put this wall up, built this wall, put the service window in.
So is this like a little dispensary right here?
This was going to be this is where you pay your when I built it, this was where you paid your admission.
Yeah.
Got into the lounge, but this was going to be a bit of the medical marijuana resource center side of things.
Okay.
But I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, I haven't been here in a long time since they got it open.
Well, let's go check it out.
Generally is not a crime, and it's asinine to hurt people more by enforcing criminal law on people who smoke marijuana or use any drugs for that matter. And I say legalize, let's take them out of the hands of the criminals and start making our streets safer.
So your point is for them.
Absolutely. I finally turned the camera on. I've been sitting and talking. We're at Vapes off Main.
Yeah.
Right. And it started as Vapes on Main.
Yes.
All right. Cool. And that was it. Eddie from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Eddie and Bill here has been involved.
Eddie and Bill.
And Eddie's wife Leah.
I learned about it through Bill from his Facebook page, seeing him post about it. When I first saw the words Vapes on Main, it got me excited because I'm from Winnipeg originally. I haven't lived here in almost 20 years, but I thought definitely nice to see a vapor lounge here in Winnipeg, and my hat's off to these guys for doing it. And we've been sitting around this table puffing for the last hour or so and having good conversation, and yeah, I just thought I would give you guys from Bubble Man's world a little bit of a glimpse into Vapes off Main, and maybe we could go around the table and everyone could kind of introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about your cannabis passion.
It's kind of crazy how fast it went actually. Because like I was here a year ago, and I was here when everything started with Eddie and Bill, and at the first main location, like it's on Main, and it really got like we started talking on Facebook. We had a post on 420 saying, hey, we're opening a new cannabis lounge. A week after that, somebody from CDC comes and asks to have an interview. And I was like, okay, sure, no problem. I'll give you an interview with Bill and Leanne, the management.
Yeah.
And after that, in a week, we got everything. It was like CTV, CBC, Winnipeg Free Press everybody doing their own reports.
Yeah.
And I left a year ago, and now I come back, and it's a new place, downtown. Crazy things are happening around the place, so it went fast. That was super fast.
And Bill, do you think that the media was interested in, do you think you having a history as a police officer in the city and now being an outspoken cannabis activist and really outspoken for the plant, Do you think that brought a little bit of that media in? Was that part of the attention that they were? Because I mean,
It could have. I've been speaking in the city for quite a number of years now for law enforcement against prohibition.
For LEAP.
You know, for LEAP.
Right, yeah, LEAP.
And since, about 7 years now, 8 years, writing letters and everything. So and then in my previous position in the Winnipeg Police, it was a fairly high profile position as well. I was staff sergeant in charge of homicide, major crime, and street gang.
That's
in the
major.
late 90s, and then I said to hell with that bullshit. I got out.
That's hardcore for sure.
2001, and I was already familiar with cannabis, of course. I mean, I grew up in the 60s, but it wasn't something that I was joining the police department to enforce.
Sure.
Because I could care less about it. And I didn't have a nose for it, and if you didn't have a nose for it, you didn't run into it. And so I essentially ignored it, like a lot of officers. I don't want to run off at the mouth here and take all the time here.
No.
But as far as vapes on Maine goes, that was an interesting thing. I'd been to Toronto, I'd been to Vancouver, I knew Dana, a few people I spoke for me out there regarding sensible BC.
Yep.
And Johnny Tran and Leah Kent came with Eddie to my house one day.
Oh, yeah.
We met them at a demonstration, and they said, we're looking for a director to set up a private, sort of a host club, private club with.
Right, that's what I had heard, that it started out as a private club.
It's sort of they're called social clubs in the province, and they're private. Whatever, we can have alcohol if we want. But I figured it was a good opportunity to give the cause a bit of a kick in the ass.
Sure.
Simply by getting in, because I've already been so active, and I thought I'd be remiss if I didn't get in. To simply, not give my sanction to it so much as saying, hey, I'm with the people here on this. This is the kind of thing we need in this town, and dispensaries are going to be next.
Absolutely.
Weissman magazine came out to do an interview, so it went quite well.
That's awesome. And it's slowly just grown into the entity that it is today.
Well, we're here because the location is kind of a, what's the old term, bohemian, beatnik?
Yep.
Hippies.
Sure.
Fuck, I'm fucking dating myself. But over here is Exchange District.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a park.
Yep.
And they just went through the reggae festival here. On
It's a great
weekend.
spot to
It's
have.
just prime spot.
It's literally where we had our spot, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The hemp exchange, like right in the exchange.
Yeah,
there.
it's a poutine place now. The hemp
Is it a
exchange.
poutine place now?
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
It's just-
Nice. Well, we
this
smoked
is
a lot
the
of
spot.
weed and hash in that building, let me tell you. A lot of weed and hash got smoked in that building.
For sure. Yeah. So, I mean, like Will said, I mean, things really took off because I just heard of the whole thing, like when they put out that newspaper thing, they kind of put it out, and I think Free Press ran it, and CBC or whoever ran it.
That's fine.
And yeah, it went, fuck man, definitely after that, a lot of people started hearing about it.
I guess my position, I mean, I understand you're so well versed in that. As some of my friends are here in the medical aspects and the intricacies of the plant itself, I'm not that much into that. I'm a crime guy, and I say to people, stop this bullshit. No crime anymore. No victim, no crime. And I'm talking about all drugs.
Yeah.
Simply because we can't afford to have the kind of violence we're seeing in our streets. Like
Well, it creates
Surrey,
crime.
Surrey, BC, for example, 40 shootings in the past 2 months or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's all cocaine and heroin and whatever it is.
Yeah, it's all these drugs that, because they're not regulated or legal, that they're able to, other people can just take control of them.
That's right, and that's why I'm with Leap on that issue too. We got to take control. And of course, cannabis is considered part of that. But people don't understand that most of the cannabis growers now are mums and pops and more in the professional growing. They don't deal with in other products or in other drugs, simply cannabis, and that's the big difference in my view. I support the cannabis people. I don't support the other drugs, but I say let's legalize and take it out of the hands of the criminals and the cartel, man.
I agree 100%.
That's what it comes down to.
Seems like common sense, really,
Yeah.
considering if you
No
look
black
at.
market profits.
We already know what Prohibition did because back in the day of alcohol prohibitions, and it was the police force who really took a serious look at Prohibition when, for the first time in the history, people just started literally killing the police. That was under Prohibition. All of a sudden, it was a war. They were shooting each other for alcohol, and it was like, well, this is insane considering most of those policemen drank alcohol on their time off, even under Prohibition. They still went to the speakeasies or the whatevers and ended up having a drink or two. And now it's like they realized way back then that eliminating alcohol prohibition would eliminate all the crime that went along with it and just regulate it. And all those old all those old people that were smugglers and bootleggers are now the biggest alcohol companies on the planet. Literally, like the Bronfmans.
Well, literally, it's rumored that Al Capone might have been down here.
Yep, in this
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, this is the Woodbine Hotel on Main Street.
Right.
This is the basement.
Oh, wow.
And they-
So this would have been filled up with alcohol barrels at one point.
And
in
he was
time.
known to have hung here. Like it's rumored. And then as soon as I
We're
heard
just
that,
hanging out at Al's place here, okay? With Al.
It's a historical place for prohibition.
Get that story down.
We should.
You get a picture. That's where a guy like David Mallow Levine comes in handy, because that's what he does. He would literally hear that story, and then he would figure it out. He would just follow it and find it and follow the history, and then make it available in some cool little book or piece of paper or something. He's definitely like, a lot of people should look at that guy in regards to his activism and how he's portrayed himself over the course of the last 20 years. He's hardcore, man. I firmly stand behind David Malmo Levine in most of the things that he does, cannabis activism related.
I remember the dude from Switzerland when we went to Melmo Levine's place, and they were arguing about something. And then when we were leaving, you were saying that was David Melmo Levine or something.
What dude from Switzerland?
The raw guy, him and his girlfriend.
Oh, Chris Iverson.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it was so funny. But then what blew my mind was Bill Smalls blew my mind there because he was playing the
the reefer song.
the reefer song.
The Viper.
We were leaving the Viper, yeah, it was in his bedroom. And
Yeah.
as we're leaving, and he just
Have
blew
you ever
my
smoked
mind.
a joint 9 feet long or something?
Yeah.
How's that sound though?
The dream about a joint 5 feet
5 feet long. Yeah. Because you're a viper. Pass me that bomb. Some old school like 30s or 40s style music.
Yeah, no, the Ball brothers were awesome. He blew my mind. I didn't even know he was a pro musician, and here's he was playing the Viper tune.
We're gonna continue to puff ourselves into a frenzy here, but thanks for watching, guys.
Did I ever tell you the story? Even Mark Emery, I probably doesn't know. I was involved in the arrest of Mark Emery when he was here.
Really? Wow.
And I'll tell you, it was only because I was in the intelligence unit at that time, which was kind of, straight. We did surveillance anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we called it.
Surveillance.
When he was in Winnipeg on a demonstration outside the public safety building.
Yes, he got arrested.
And he got arrested. Well,
They took his bong, his
Took his
Vancouver
bong
Canucks
and passed
bong, and he still talks about that bong. He's like, still like wants that bong back.
Don't ask me. I was a guy sitting there kind of watching and saying, because I was ordered to go over and have a watch, and I knew he wanted to get arrested.
In his defense, he came to get arrested.
Yeah, so I said, okay, pass the ball.
You know, it's funny because if they just...
That was my role in the fucking thing. I went, okay, pass the ball. And 2 cops walked out and took him, whatever, not in handcuffs or anything, and just escorted him back in a public safety building. And I guess he used a promise here or an appearance notice in those days. But
Yeah.
I don't know if, passing the bong in that day was the key on that one.
It was.
Simply because it's a traffic.
In Saskatchewan, it was the same thing. He passed the joint, and he did
Right, it was
time in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I think he did 30 days or something.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, whoa, what? Like 30 days? Yeah, 30 days. Oh well, Mark was always one to push the envelope in regards
Well, I
to his
thought it was
activism.
ironic too because, laughing like crazy. What a stupid thing for us to be wasting our time on. You know, we had cops all over the place. But, I mean, he wanted to get arrested and push the cause, and I admired him for it, even as a cop, from afar, I tell you.
Really?
I did. Oh, yeah, absolutely, because even then, there was a lot of us guys on the job who were not the drug warriors
Right.
that you saw from the French Connection days. We used to see people try and emulate those kind of detectives and whatnot. No, we stayed. If there was no victim, I didn't want anything to do with it.
Well, that's the thing. You're a homicide detective.
Yeah,
It's like,
I wanted a victim.
no, I don't.
Dead or alive,
I honestly,
wanted a victim.
I've never met a homicide detective that cared about cannabis.
Right, it's
They just-
relevant.
They don't even really care about drugs in a sense. Like they'll, you know what I mean? Like if they just want some information, like we just need to solve this murder. I don't care that you had a bunch of heroin. Just tell me
That's
what
exactly
happened.
how we operate here.
Because that makes sense. You're trying to solve a fucking homicide, which
I
has.
met many heroin addicts and some of the homicides here. And
I'd
it was
imagine.
quite enlightening for me, you know. Not what you expect.
That's real police work.
But, and then when I started to get involved with looked at LEAP and they came over there, they articulated.
LEAP's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Law enforcement against prohibition. It's a very powerful group of people to stand up.
Well, they won't appreciate me sitting here talking about it because I don't have my T-shirt, but simply because it's such a.
Well, we'll put the
But
website in
this
the
is
video.
a legal operation, gentlemen. If you are watching, and I'm Bill Vandergraff of LEAP, sometimes I speak for you, sometimes I don't. I say kiss my ass. The fact is, it's a legal operation going on here. I've already checked Vice magazine. You remember you saw the article I sent it to you. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm MMAR, so I'm definitely happy. I was going to ask my hotel today, for instance. I mean, I'm staying at a nice hotel in the city. I spent a fair amount of money, and then I want to know where can I use cannabis, because I know if I walk out into the Forks and sit in the middle of the thing and pull out my mothership and a big blowtorch, start torching my nail, which I did in my defense this morning in front of the Forks. And then I went down to the river and I did it there, and then I went on the bridge and I did it there. Most of the people were just looking at me.
Yes.
But I thought I wanted to ask the hotel, like, where can I medicate? And it's like, it's amazing that these hotels don't have anywhere that they can tell their patrons, their customers, where they can go do this safely. And because they can't do that, I can potentially invite unwanted attention into my life by being in a city that I might not, be aware of how it works. So it is what it is. I'm glad that the Vapor Lounge exists, and we're just going to continue here with this group of great individuals. I'll put all the links on how you guys can get in touch with these guys, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Well, all right, guys, we have made it back to the beautiful hotel here, the Inn at the Forks, and we got the sun setting behind us with the city of Winnipeg really kind of prominently displayed, wouldn't you say, Al?
Oh yeah.
Got the Richardson building and the old bank building. There's not too many high-rise buildings, but that is definitely right behind Al's head there, the majority of them. And then the $350 million giant big finger from the Human Rights Museum, which you got to admit, it is a pretty unique looking building. Now, can you go up to the top? Is that what that top part is?
I haven't been there yet, but I do believe you can get a long ways up there.
Okay, okay.
I'm not sure if you get right to the top or not, but
Thanks for the water, by the way.
I know contractors that work there were just shaking their head the whole time.
They've never seen anything like it.
No, and yeah, the one guy was drywalling like 5 stories up on a scaffold type of a thing.
Come on.
He was the mudder.
Oh, I know what I'm looking for. The dabber, which should be beside you there, and the resin. Is the dabber there too, inside?
Yeah.
Beautiful! Alright, well, we've been hitting this LHO as well as this rosin pretty heavy. It's been quite nice, I would say, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
So we thought we'd finish it off with a last session here at the Inn at the Forks. Sun going down in the background. Couple of nice rips out of the mothership. Not like there's been any shortage of rips out of the mothership, but I'm gonna do a combo rosin LHO rip. Ooh, nicely done. Monster dabs. Use my right hand so the camera actually shows it. Oh, will be required to flick the switch. That was a tease rip. As you can see, the D-nail was at 74 degrees, and now that I've flicked the switch, she's climbing. Beautiful thing about these things, they don't take that long to heat up. The few times in my life where I've actually done what I just did, which is put the dabber into the cold bowl, I've managed to sort of get my hit in me like probably a minute later. So, not too bad.
Well, the analog, I think, is a little slower to warm up, but...
Yeah, this is fast. You'll see, like, in less than a minute, we will be ripping this bowl.
Yeah, well,
It's already up to 300.
Yeah.
Halfway there! So there's that, is a good thing. 359. Got my D-nail set at about 680 today. We've been, on this trip, I've gone as low as 580 and as high as 750. So quite a wide variety of rips. We're getting up to 500 here. Starting to feel some good heat coming off of that. This should be nice. A little LHO mixed in with a rosin. You can even see their differences quite clearly on the end of the dabber.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm at 600 degrees and I'm going to go for it. I don't mind a low temp dab at all. Nice, hey, on the low temp, how you just keep getting rips. Lovely. Would you like one of those? Little combo rip?
Sure.
Alrighty then. Well, it was a nice trip back to Winnipeg. I did miss a few things that I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to take the Bubble Man's World audience to where I smoked my first joint. And I had plans on doing that. And I could still potentially do that tomorrow morning, wake up real early and just decide that I'm going to drive out there. But tomorrow is my last day and I fly out tomorrow. So that is the day that I'm usually kind of...
Scrambling.
I get a little more anxious and I'm traveling with the family. So you just want to make sure that you have the time. Good to see. You know, I enjoyed today hanging out at the new dispensary in town. Glenn was a super cool guy. Mark was a great guy. I looked forward to checking out Vapes off Main and meeting Bill Vandergraff.
Yeah.
Ex-cop and, speaker for LEAP, Law Officials Against Prohibition, as well as cannabis activist locally here in Manitoba. So I just thought it was nice to see him as well and meet those guys from Vapes Off Main. It was unfortunately I didn't get to meet Eddie, the founder of Vapes on Main, but hopefully we can meet him maybe as well tomorrow morning if it works out before I fly out here. But otherwise, I wanted to wrap it up, guys. I wanted to thank Reggie the Roddy for taking me around Winnipeg and showing me around today, being my host. And thank all the good people of Winnipeg, Manitoba for doing the good work and continuing the activism and continuing the important work of educating the masses as to the importance of saturating your endocannabinoid system, not only for a medicinal and recreational methods, but also for preventative, because there's no need to get sick if you can take the right things to prevent that. So, yeah, you got anything last words you want to share, Reg?
No, it's just good seeing you. Had a good day.
Right on, dude.
Another good one.
Yeah, it was good for sure. Well, we're going to continue on puffing some bowls and drinking this fancy water from the Inn at the Forks. And thank you guys all for watching Bubble Man's World, and I hope you appreciated this Winnipeg edition. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Peace.